Ah, hell's bells. Hey everybody, how are we doing? I hope you all are doing half as well as I am doing. Am I live on things? Should be live on things. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Oh, you can't see me unless I scoot over. Hey Shadow, hey Tyler, hey Pie Master, how we all doing? I think we are all live on all the things now. Okay. Get this chapstick out of here. Alright. I'm gonna guess that we are live. Y'all can hear me. Today, we got some painting to do. Right? Oh, hells yeah, we do. So, boom, we got some water. Hey! Tyler, thank you so very much for the sub. I appreciate the Prime subs. Thank you all. Just getting shit together here. Bam. Paper towel. Alright, we're gonna need paintbrushes or something, right? There we go. Big old paintbrush. Alright, so let's start off. We're gonna do this rust monster. And let's see what we got here. We got a box art. It's kind of an orange-ish creature, almost like rust. So, I'll get that out of here. Neat. So close. Oh, I guess I need the price of that. I don't have it. Oh. So we need orange. I don't have a dark orange, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our lava orange and our dry rust, actually. Is our dry rust an effects paint, or is it actually... Oh, it is. It is an effects paint. You see that oil? Ooh. That'll be fun. But that's not what we're here for. We're going to take that, this lava orange, and we're going to mix in a little bit of... Jesus, is that loud for you guys too? Oh, yeah. I guess not. Alright, we're going to take a little bit of this red here. One of my favorite crushed sores. Oh, I missed it. I missed it. We're just going to consider that some extreme level shaking. Ah. Then we're going to chug some more energy drink, and hopefully that'll calm down our hands, right? That's how that works. So I don't drink a lot of crap. Oh, man. But when I do, I try and go to the Jungle Gyms, which is a store near us that has a ton of crazy, weird items. And I try and find really weird stuff, like really off-brand, strange energy drinks. This one is called Bucked Up Energy. It's It's not great. Have I played New World yet? No. I had a snafu with my hard drives, and my buddy, actually, you know him, Cameron, that we work with, is coming over tomorrow, and I'm calling in a little bit of a favor, and I'm going to make him install new hard drives in my computer. Because, like, I could do it, but I really don't feel like doing it, and he owes me, so I'm going to have him do it. And then I'll have the space to get some New World installed. I messed up exporting stuff. So I'm going to make him do that. Because I even got the new hard drives. I got them all mounted up. I made sure I had all the appropriate like SATA and power cables, but I don't feel like getting in there, and it's dirty and nasty. So I'm going to make him do it. One of the benefits of helping your friends is that later on you can make them do stuff for you. That's why we do things, right? Just gonna go ahead and rehydrate our wet palette. It's been a couple of days since I got to paint. But once I have that re-downloaded, yes, I will be all about that New World life when I can. See, tonight and tomorrow night I have the puppy, so I won't be able to do much then. But the night after I might be able to. What is that? That's Thursday night? Yeah. Thursday night I might get to play some video games. Saturday, no, just because I have to teach a karate class and then I go up Sunday to Cleveland to do a knot funeral for my grandmother. Appa has been absolutely amazing. Appa is up to 6 pounds now. So in the month that we've gotten him, he has literally doubled in size. It's crazy. He is healthy and happy. And just an absolute little bit of a nightmare, but that's kind of why I love him. He is really way too quite smart. So, there we go. There's our orange. Yes, that takes up a lot more space than I normally do when I'm mixing paints, but I know that this hydration pad is on its last little leg. So, yeah. He's becoming a little bit of a nightmare. He's learned a bunch of tricks, but also he has learned a bunch of how to get around stuff. So, like, he has learned how to get away with things, which is impressive and concerning. So this is just the base coat. We're going to slap this down all quick and dirty light. Just because we need this to not be a solid white model. We'll start working on stuff from there. So as you can tell here, I'm not being careful about where colors are, where they're supposed to be. I just want to get a combination of the the dry rust and crushed sore all over this model if possible. And then we'll darken everything up, and then we'll start in with our highlights. But New World, yeah, very excited. I've been doing a little bit of research on it. I'm very excited to start. Unfortunately, a lot of the things that you see and that keeps popping up is stuff about like guilds and free companies or whatever they're called in that one, which I have just never in any RPG been a huge fan of, except for the one that I was in with Shadow and our friend Josh. That was the only time I actually had fun in an RPG guild. Alrighty. Okay, yeah, so that's why it's the dry store. Dude got a new chair yesterday. Okay. So I actually had to switch to my old chair. As you can tell here, I'm back to my old desk chair, because the new one was squeaking like a motherfucker. I WD-40'd it. I have tightened and then loosened and then retightened every single bolt on it. Oh my fucking god. It is the squeakiest chair. And like, I'm really frustrated because it was a really nice, like, I won't say it was a really nice one. It was a pretty nice one that I got as a Christmas gift last year, and I'm already having to go back to this one. It was for my father-in-law. I was really frustrated that it already started squeaking that bad, and it got worse. Like, it didn't used to be this bad. It just would not stop squeaking. And I'm sure that it probably has something to do with like the temperature changes and everything. But oh my god. And thank you very much, Pie Master. I might hit you guys up with that. In your company. I mean, between you and Tyler, it's gonna be one of you guys. Or both. I don't know how companies work. Oh, and if it broke during work, I'd be pissed too. See, but right now, my other chair is just, I traded my cat back. So now she just kind of chills in my new chair, and I use this old one. It's that COVID 19 pounds we all put on. Man, I have lost 15 pounds since COVID. What are you talking about? Not having to go out, being able just to sit at home and work out. It's amazing. Actually, no, I think I'm down 15. I've always been good at working out by myself at home, though. I will say that. Gym memberships and stuff has just never really been a part of like my repertoire. Since I stopped doing competitive martial arts, I don't really need a workout buddy or anything like that anymore. So, yeah, the reason why we didn't do this part right here is just it gives us kind of a place to hold the model. And there we go. We're trying to do this guy fast because he's this tiny little monster. I really want to get something significant done tonight. So this rust monster was perfect. We're going to try and get this guy done real quick. Oops, not fast enough that we're going to drop him though. Alrighty. Ahead and get just a little bit of a base coat here on these little, I don't know what I call these fibrous little membrane things, these antennae, filii, for what that would be called. I think it would be filii on a creature because it's cilii on plants. Alrighty. And there we go, we have our base coat down. Okay. Boom. Okay. So this is going to need just a few minutes to dry, but here's where we stand right now on the rust monster. Whoop. Just a base coat, and again, we kept the paint thin, so we kind of control a little bit. All right. Yes. Go. Pop off, Tyler. Stream's going to be a little bit shorter tonight, but I look forward to seeing you later. Okay. But yeah, John, how is, you said you're enjoying your New World experience? Yeah, Tyler convinced me to buy it, so I might be playing it here soon. Well, he didn't convince me. He asked me if I bought it, and then I misunderstood what he said, or like I gave him the wrong answer, so then I just bought it to end all the confusion about whether or not I had it. Okay. Any good starter tips? I mean, I'm torn. Like, I really want to play New World, but also a bunch of my friends play Final Fantasy XIV, and I'm really considering joining them again on that. And I mean, I don't mind if it's rough around the edges. Frankly, so am I as like a person. As a human being, I'm pretty rough around the edges, so I don't care if a game is. I've got 2 of these earth elementals that I picked up on sale. So let's get their price into our little handy dandy price sheet here. I will say that I've not been a huge fan of a lot of the Final Fantasy games, but Final Fantasy XIV is just an MMO. It's amazing. I've never really played and super enjoyed any of the other ones, but 14 was a really good MMO. It got me... It was a different experience than WoW, which was nice. Let's see, Earth Elemental. Looks like we got 1 of those here in this spreadsheet. I'm going to paint more than one size of this, so what I'll do is I will put the medium Earth. Okay. The store I picked this up from, and the cost. Boom. Pie Master! No, Shadow! Playing Beast of Bermuda, so dinosaurs. Oh, we are currently moving your herd in Beast of Bermuda. We'll get that herd moved. Get it shepherded over somewhere else. Get that out of here. Ooh, that's pretty cool. We got some little crystals there. In there. Okay, cool. Looks like we got some pretty bad mold lines here, but we'll take care of this real quick. At least the ones we need to. That one's fine. That one, let's just calm it down a little bit. This one's actually kind of fine. Just chill out there. You're good. Yeah, that one's pretty bad. So we'll just... Not a fan of the sculpt. Are they both exactly the same? Maybe. Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So I want to do these differently. I'm going to do one of them here right quick, and I'll do the other one later. But we'll get some base coats down and such. Okay. So for a good earth tone, let's see. Earth elementals kind of come in a wide variety of shapes and sizes, I guess. So we'll do... Let's do this guy really like a dark orange. Like a really dark orange. And we'll do the other one in more of a stone mud. This in like a stone and earth dirt. And we'll do this one in kind of a mud and dark orange. So we're gonna need an inkwell here. And let's go ahead and go with like some wildwood. We'll use some contrast paints here. And I guess some Griffhound orange. I guess we can use. We'll do this. Yeah. Yeah, I think this will work. And this one will be kind of our muddy one. And the other one will be more of our rock. Ooh, dusty. We can do one as it's an earth elemental like in the desert. I kind of really like that. That's perfect. So there we go. We got our wildwood and our Gryph-hound orange. So let's go ahead. We're going to get a decent amount of this into our inkwell here. And we're just going to be mixing these together on the model itself. And I like the wildwood because wildwood, as it is a brown tone, has orange in it. So hopefully they'll go together quite nicely. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to need some lanthanum medium to thin these down a little bit. And let's go ahead and we're going to add a little bit of the Plague Bear's flesh into the Gryph-hound orange, just to kind of give it a little bit more of a color variation. We want it to tone down just a little bit. So yeah, there we go. There we go, like so. There we go. And there's our color. And then we're going to use lanthanum medium. Yeah, definitely not a 10 out of 10 game. No one's saying that it's a flawless RPG, but then again, for a release of a new RPG by a non-AAA game developing company and stuff like that, I would say it is a 10 out of 10 release. And the polishing issues will get fixed with time, I'm sure. I am not... Okay, so getting into it, I guess, a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of games that take you outside of like the global cooldown mechanic and such. It kind of adds in a whole level of actual just preciseness that I've never really found to be in my MMO playstyle, which is fine. I will adjust. And it's kind of got more of an action RPG, but you're in an MMO setting. At least that's the little bit that I've seen and that I've played, not played of it, that I've seen played of it. Again, which is not a whole ton. But I am excited to give it a whirl. Okay. So let's see what this looks like here. Ooh. Alright, good deal. We can work with this. Okay. Looks like we got the good colors down. Oh wait, okay, wow. There's a lot of discussion here from Pie Master about New World. Yeah, I will definitely hit you up when I actually get around to downloading it and playing it and stuff. Very excited to. And I love time sync games. So yeah, definitely not a problem for me. And I will let you know when I actually start to play it. But yeah, it's I mean, a lot of the things that people also complain about are things that really just wouldn't bother me. Like the time sync, or you know, crafting and gathering being a chore, because I don't mind that it's a chore because it's crafting and gathering. I like the grind. I mean, looking at Final Fantasy XIV, my favorite activity was the fact that they had the crafting and gathering as its own like full class with abilities and stuff. I loved that. Ooh, Heracross. I'm gonna try and catch that for sure. So as you can see here, we'll cover a big area with the orange, and then we'll go in with our darker color and just kind of blend it in like so, from the dark area up through to the light, and then vice versa. Actually, this is under the armpit, so that needs to be darker for sure, like so. And then from this we get our shadows and highlights. And if we need to, we can also be careful and just kind of just hit the top of these rocks with our blend of the two colors, or just with the orange itself. So like for this here, what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of draw a line with our bright color down the top side of the mini, just so we can see. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw a line on the dark side of our mini, and then just kind of feather these in together. That's a little too much dark paint. There we go. We'll stay with a little bit more of the light. We see a bunch of paint there on my hand. I'm trying to figure out where it came from. Oh, just the thing. So when you thin down with lanthanum medium, you will tend to get this as well. See all that pooling there at the bottom of the model? No big deal. We just soak it up a little bit with the brush. Just because we have such a thin paint on there. Now we can go in with a second coat of this wildwood and contrast paint if we need to. Go ahead and get this face here as well. Open the window, get on the floor, everyone walk the dinosaur. I don't know. What is that reference? Or rather, I've heard that before, I just don't remember. What did I say that actually triggered that reference? There we go. And there we go. A very thing-looking earth elemental. Yeah, we got a little bit more paint just kind of soaking down the back as we turn it around. That's perfectly alright though. That'll dry as well. I do remember the song. I have heard the song before. Oh, Shadow's comment. Oh, about the dinosaur herding. Okay. Just having fun being a dinosaur. Okay. Ah. Oh, I see. Okay. So I don't want to start a third model for tonight, so we're just gonna chill for about 5 minutes or so, and work on chillaxing. Oh, as we wait for something to dry up just a little bit. So New World, do you have to pick a class in that game, or is it just kind of... Man, I just spent a bunch of money in that game. Oh wait, no, I never actually finished buying it. Tyler might be upset with me. Oh. Also, tell your friends, tell your family. I've actually made a dedicated activity of getting more things on the Etsy page. So whereas before there was only 6 or 7 things on there, the same 6 or 7 things that have been there for quite some time, our stock is now up to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There's now 18 things in the Etsy shop. So I added about 8 new objects, and I got some more to add. Oh, yeah. So it's just like Final Fantasy XIV. You get a new class by swapping to a different weapon. I like that. I really like that system, honestly. As long as they're not, like, selling it the same way they sell, like, Albion Online, which just, I can't fucking stand the game. I would never play that game, if only because the ads were so... Like, the ads for Albion Online border on harassment. Like, right? I'm low-key just keep losing my model holders. Alright. Oh yeah, there's a dwarf on this one. Like the ads for the game. The ads I don't think the game has ads in it. But ads for the game are harassment. I swear. Oh, oops. Because I don't mind ads in a video game. Like, or to be clear, let's be clear. I will stop playing a game because I feel like it has too many ads. But if a game developer chooses to ruin their game, make it unplayable, and lose players because they feel the need to put all the ads in that they do, all the more power to them. Done. Dusted. You can do what you want. You guys ready yet? No, they're not. But when like the advertisement for your game is just straight up misleading, like I'm looking at you, I think it's Hero Wars or something, the one with the puzzles, and the girl that's in danger or something, and you see the computer or a big hand fail to complete the puzzle. I downloaded that game one time, and the game wasn't even like that. Wasn't even the game. It was so frustrating. It was just an idle game. And like honestly, the game seemed pretty okay, but I went into it thinking it would be a bunch of puzzles and stuff, and it wasn't. It was just fucking garbage. I was so upset. I think you get to do one of those puzzles like every 10 levels or something, and it was like I was like, cool. Why are all of the ads for this game these dumb little puzzles? When that's barely I was so frustrated. Let's see here. I would have played the game otherwise too, which is what's so funny, is that like I don't necessarily mind the kind of idle RPG games. I wouldn't have been super upset. However, yeah. Let's see here. Excuse me for a second. I have to do some stuff on this phone game. I need to figure out how to actually hook up my my phone so you guys can see that too. We'll play some MCOC. Actually, you guys can see this. Oops. There we go. That's really hard to do with one hand out in front of me. I normally play this game with one hand, but doing it out in front of me like that, I really want to actually stream this game sometime. But I had to figure out how to get it from my mobile device onto the screen for y'all, which shouldn't be too hard. I think I could just do it as an input source. Alright, one more fight, guys, and then I'm good to... I think we're probably good to start painting that rust monster again. I'm really happy with the way he looks. Okay. A wild Sawana appears. Boom. Poke catch. Alright, guys. And gals, it's time. We had victory. We defeated the guy providing a node boost. If they need me to fight that boss, it'll have to be later. Alright. So we're going back to the rust monster here. And let's see here. I want to kind of add a little bit more of a darker dark to his shadows and stuff. I think the easiest way to do that would just be hit him with a dark tone, honestly. We're not going to overthink it. We're just going to go ahead and use the Army Painter Quick Shade Dark Tone. Super easy. Done and dusted. Again, I'm just going to use our big old brush because we are applying, again, just a wash over the model. A little bit more liquid, a little bit of water in there. Thin it down. There we go. We're going to focus this in these gaps here in the carapace, like so. And on the bottom side of the model here. And then the legs, just kind of all over because it is at the lower point of the model. And on the underneath side of the model as well, down here. A little bit heavy over there. It's fine, we'll fix that in a sec. Just shoop, shoop, shoop. And then here, as we start to get too close, to really get good differentiation, we can kind of just brush along. Like so. And don't worry, it is a wash, so it will dry a little bit less thick than it currently looks. So if you're applying this and you're like, oh geez, I ruined it, don't worry, don't stress. It's also going to grab a little bit of that orange from the Earth Elemental, actually. Just to kind of cover up a couple of these spots that we missed on the Rust Monster. One of the benefits of doing things in the same color family at the same time. I want the back of this tail to be really, really dark, so I'm really giving this a good coat of the dark wash, of the dark tone. And then that's like a little bit thick, so then we just come in here with our semi-dry brush. Just soak up a little bit of that. Kind of just move it around. There we go. A little bit of the wildwood and stuff. There we go. We're just going to soak up this stuff right here on the antennae. Wow. Yay. And there we go. There's just, we're adding a little bit of definition to our Rust Monster. And mainly pay attention to the areas that we did, like this line right here, where it started to dry a little bit. You can see that line of darkness, kind of just showing that gap a little bit better. We're gonna go ahead and actually soak up a little bit of this up here on the tail. A little bit overeager with some of this. There we go. Alrighty, now the Earth Elemental. Back to you, sir. We're actually going to break out a different brush here, because we're going to be doing your base. Because him, for the most part, is actually pretty close to done. But I want to get these little stone outcroppings and stuff done first, and then his base itself, and then we'll work on the details on him. So for him, I kind of want him out of a more neutral stone, earth. So we're going to go with a more generic, like dark gray, rocks, and kind of a mud. So I need, let's go with Underdark Gray. And we need to darken it up a little bit more. So we're gonna actually grab just a little bit of Abyssal Black's gonna be too dark. Necromancer Cloak is maybe not dark enough. What's this right here? I got oh, Dark Stone. Perfect. So we're gonna go with the Underdark Gray and the Dark Stone. That should help. That's kind of what we're looking for. And put this back there. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna mix up a little bit of this and that. I think we're done with this, but we'll keep it just in case we are not and we need it. Okay. Darkstone and Underdark Gray are what we're using here. So there's the Underdark Gray and the Darkstone. Okay. Let's go ahead and get a new paper towel as well. That one's very, very damp. And I want a little bit more control with the moisture on the brush here. So we're going to just switch out for another one here. It's important to have control over the moisture of your brush because you don't want your paint to end up too thin or too thick. So we're going to go ahead and flip this around. A little bit of our darker and our lighter. Let's see what we can come up with here. Looks pretty good. Alright, so we're going to grab this. And we're just going to start going after some of this ground itself. Again, keeping our paint nice and thin. We're going to do those little crystals as solid rocks poking up out of the ground, so we're going to do those in a bit here. But all of the normal earth we'll do like this. In the mixture of these two colors. And here we go. I'm going to decide that this is not part of the elemental. You gotta eventually start making just some arbitrary decisions on that too. Like that. That's not part of him. That is. I saw a little spot that we missed down in here. So we're just going to grab a little bit of our orange. There it is. Boom. Keep this mixed up. Keeping our brush nice and clean. Keeping the paint towards the tip of it. Very important. Not just for the life of your brush, which you hear people talk about all the time, but also the application of a lot of paint. It really does make it easier when you're applying with just the tip of your brush. There we go. Okay. Boom. Ooh, a wild Delamise appeared. Let's see if we can catch this one. How many Pokeballs do I have left? Jeez. Oh, that was my last one. Or I've been using Premier Balls. Oh. That's okay. But dang, I've got a decent number of them now. All right. What was the okay. Let's see here. Now we're gonna take a quick step back. We're just gonna look at the ground here. I'm not a fan with the amount of orange that I've got in here, so I'm gonna go through again just with another quick coat of the dark stone, because I don't mind blending a little bit where the creature is coming out, but I also don't want that blending all over. Well, it's mostly on edges, so we should get that corrected here in the next step. So yeah, we're gonna leave that for now. And just getting in between the fingers here, just like so. Looks good, looks good. All right. Getting there, getting there. There is our Earth Elemental. Here's where we stand on him now. Okay. Now we're gonna do the lighter stone areas, and we're gonna do that with the a little bit of somber gray. And we're just gonna be a little bit careful with this one. Yes. Hey, Rodvicat. This is yeah, one of the earth elementals. This is the one that we are doing as a kind of a mud and maybe cave elemental, and then the other one we're going to be doing as a sand desert theme. And then we're also doing, what else do we do today? Today we have also done this guy, a little rust monster. And I don't think we're going to get to work on him anymore just because we're waiting on a bunch of stuff to dry on him. But he's getting there. I wanted to do things in the same color family today. So right now we're just getting the external stones here. Just a nice base coat as well. Oh. I love rust monsters. It's one of my favorite creatures. Just the idea that something lives off of rust. Plus, if you're familiar with the Rage, Riot, and Ruin trilogy by Richard Lee Byers in the Forgotten Realms universe, he fucks up Doran the Half Golem. Ugh. In the most brutal of ways. At least a rust monster does. Absolutely brutal. It's in the Ruin book. He actually loses like half of his body. Absolutely devastating scene. Ooh, maybe not as devastating as the other character that dies in one of those books. I don't remember his name, so there isn't really a spoiler. Plus, these books came out like 20-something plus years ago, so deal. There is a just kind of a normal foot soldier, young boy that just happens to be around when they do a couple of epic things. Like, he happens to be there when they're like defeating a giant dragon, and he ends up being one of the people that does the final blow on a storm giant at some point or something else. And he, at one point they're in a castle and they're being besieged, so he goes to jump onto the back of the horse with one of the main characters, and then out of nowhere he just collapses, and it was a big siege. And after all of that, after facing down a Draco Lich and living to tell the tale, a storm giant as well as an elemental beast, some random ass arrow takes him out right into the chest, and it is the most devastating and out of left field death that I've ever seen in a book. Because after this kid that's done all of this stuff, they just go to do what essentially turns out to just be like a locomotive exercise, like getting from one place to another, and then boom, dead. And I was like, out of all the places that I thought that little boy was gonna die, that boy would die. And he wasn't like a main character, but it was like one that you like knew the name of, almost like a refrigerator woman in like a comic book, if you're familiar with the term. Like, you're not emotionally attached to him, but he exists and you're aware of his existence. And yes, rust monsters 100% will mess a party up, for sure. Yeah, close enough on that. Okay. All right, so there we go. We got the beginning of the muddy ground, and then the stones. And then we gotta figure out what color to do his... Do people not get emotionally attached to their refrigerator? No, the term... Shadow. The term refrigerator woman is one actually that I learned fairly recently. It's it dates back to one of the original girlfriend deaths in comic books, done for I think it was Kyle, the Green Lantern, Kyle Renner, and he comes home and his girlfriend is like brutally chopped up and murdered in the refrigerator, and it became such a trope in the early and even current existence of comic books, and like even just like action media and such, etc., is that the female characters exist exclusively to die later on and provide motivation for the male protagonists of whatever content they're in. So they called them refrigerator women because they were there, they existed, but they only ever were kept fresh enough in your minds so that you knew they existed, but you weren't emotionally attached to them, so that when they wound up pulled out of the refrigerator and presented to die, you wouldn't be upset when they were found chopped up in the refrigerator. So it just became a phrase, refrigerator girls, refrigerator women, or girlfriends, or whatever you want to call them. They were kept fresh enough in your head so that they could die and provide motivation later. And it's fucking bullshit, because like you want to get attached. I think the most common, like the latest example I can think of is kind of the if you're familiar with the Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, Gwen Stacy in the second movie, like she existed to die in that movie. Like you were kind of upset a little bit, but more so you were concerned about his character growth at that moment. And I get that it's Spider-Man, the movie, it's fine, but it's just a perfect example of it. Like she existed so that she could die and motivate Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Like that was it. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about that one. I mean, yes, there's a reason he got 2 movies, and I mean, the 2 that they got were amazing. He was an amazing Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong, Tom Holland is also great. I'm upset that he only got 2. Frankly, Andrew Garfield played an amazing Peter Parker. And at the time, he was definitely a lot better than anything else that had been played. But I'm curious as to if the reason why they only did 2 is because they knew there was going to be a bunch of nonsense here in the future with Marvel, given the popularity of those movies. Hey, thank you very much, Rodgat. Please lurk. I've been doing my streams much shorter, so if you do end up missing me and missing the final thing, I'll show them off in the next stream. With everything going on in my life, I've kind of had to keep my streams a little sporadic. They were kind of all over with the stories for the Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah, and they were just kind of kept throwing everything at the wall in the second movie because they felt like they weren't going to get a third. Yeah. Secret subway token in a calculator, and that whole thing led to a lot. What are you talking about? Maybe I don't remember those movies right. Maybe I'm not remembering those movies right. I feel like that all led to a lot. Like that his dad knew about the super spider serum or whatever it is. Maybe I don't remember those movies very well. Okay. So we're going to lighten up these rocks and this rock. And then we're going to start adding a little bit of mud to the whole thing. Wish cache escaped. No one caught it. Well, damn. Okay, so we're going to lighten that up just by grabbing some of our old white and off-white and brown here from our palette. And there we go. Perfect. Perfecto. Now let's go ahead and get a little bit less on our paintbrush here. There we go. a little bit on the ground too. To kind of bring some of these details back into the light of day. Like so. And there, now we have our rocks a little bit better defined. Except for that side right there. Pow, 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 pow. Should have dropped after we found this subway thing. What was the subway thing? You mentioned that you mentioned that before too. The secret subway token, didn't it open up like his dad's secret study? Wow, it's been so long since I've seen this movie. I'm gonna level with everybody. Fuck. I got nothing. Maybe we shouldn't be talking about this movie. I clearly don't remember it at all. Okay. We're gonna grab a little bit of Troll Slayer orange. Or no, actually, let's go with, let's mix a little bit of lava orange here. Yeah, so lava orange is a very, very bright orange. And we're going to go ahead and get that ready to brush onto here. Just to kind of lighten up some of these lighter areas as well. Because it's going to mix with the off-white that's already in our brush too. Okay. Now for the other thing we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of yellow into this. Let's grab my oranges here. Let's keep. I got a bad habit now growing of not putting my paints away. I gotta stop that. Because these are my oranges, but I got a red in the middle of it? Oh, I got an effect paint in the middle of it. Oh, okay. Okay, I need like a nice, let's see here, maybe this ancient mummy. Let's go ahead and try that. We're gonna mix a little bit of ancient mummy in to our lava orange base coat. Okay, that's pretty good. Go ahead and grab a little bit of that. Okay, now we're going to grab just the yellow. So this is going to be just the ancient mummy. Actually, let's go with moon dust. I want this to be really bright. And we're actually going to keep it off of the wet palette in its entirety, just to kind of make sure it stays nice and dry for our dry brushing. So we're just going to put it in one of these, in a little well here. And let's go ahead and let's grab a different dry brush here. This is fine. And that's, yeah, so we're going to try and get just a little bit on there, like so. Get it all up in the bristles there. And just make sure that we don't have too much on there. Just in the lightest areas here. Add a little bit in here. There we go. There we go. Now we've added just a little bit. Just a couple of little highlights and stuff. All right. Call that one done. Go ahead and put this back away. And let's see here. We need to darken up these stones actually. So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to go back to, I guess, my darker stone color here, and let's go ahead and let's just coat this. Let's go ahead and give these stones a little coat as well. And the reason why we're doing this now rather than before is because we're still going to have variation and distinction. Whoa, 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 whoa. There goes my paintbrush. Look at that. Ah. Careful. We're still going to have the distinction of the different stone textures, but it's still going to all tie together with like the base color of the elemental itself. And frankly, the wildwood and what was it? What did we add in here? I don't think we added anything into this one. It's already right there in our palette. If we make sure to get it all, it'll just kind of act like a filter for all of the model. There we go. Okay. Well, there's our base starting to come together. You got different colors of rocks and such. Now we can't really finish it up because I need it to be more dry. But yeah. Let's see, what can we do? Let's see, how long have we streamed here? 126. Tell you what, let's hang out until the next Pokemon spawns, and then we're gonna call it a little bit of a short stream here. I gotta go, it's about 9 o'clock. I gotta get some other stuff done around the house. So, thank you all very much for hanging out. I hope to get the next YouTube video done here in the next month or so. I'm very much looking forward to it. Oh yeah, here's what we did tonight. So I think we did pretty well, considering we started from scratch on these. Let's turn this guy so you can actually see him. And yeah. I think these are two ones I can be proud of here, considering this guy is... We did both of them here, and like this guy's almost done, and we spent less than an hour, so we're looking at like 45 minutes on each. Just a couple brushes, maybe a handful of paints. Definitely an easy paint job on both of these guys. I'm looking forward to doing the other earth elemental in a this other guy in a sandstone and desert vibe. I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm glad that that elemental came in a pack of 2. I was very surprised at the price that it did. It was like $6 and I got 2 of those. Those are pretty good. Whereas this guy by himself was like 4. Okay. Let's see what I got here. Views. When was the last Pokemon? Let me decide that before I say that I'm going to stick around until then. I have no problem sticking around. Let's see. Do I have anyone online that I want to... No, I don't actually have anybody that I want to host right now. If anyone has any suggestions, let me know. Let's see here. Oh, I see, John, where you sent me your server. John, do you have any friends or anything online right now that you want us to host? Or V-Rod Cat, anyone to host? Actually, let me check out the Spuddies Discord. Let's see if we got anyone on there in their path to affiliate or anything. Working on it. Okay, I got a non-affiliate VIP by the name of A Bacon. Alright, let's go ahead and try and Poke Catch. And we are going to go host them. How does that sound? Let's see here. All right, there we go. Now we got someone to host. Do them a favor, give them a follow and such if you can. We're going to go ahead and raid if we can. There we go. Thank you all for watching. Genuinely had a lot of fun hanging out with y'all. So, can't wait to catch you next time.
It didn't take me nowhere. I'm just gonna kind of stay where I'm at.